With the Galar region being cut short during the runtime of Pokémon Journeys, I do believe that the region probably warranted a fourth season. I feel like this saga warranted more episodes than it meets the eye. And this is what I'm here to talk about. I want to basically give a post-game to Journeys and making sure that all Galar representation is given during this time, and I feel like this is the best time to do it since Sword and Shield will be on its 5th anniversary in the tail end of this year. When it comes to episode counts like my other projects, I'm not really doing it for right now. However, I would like to imagine that every raid of the 15 raids that I have planned for this What If counts as a 2-parter, with the beginning and the end being a 3-parter. Therefore, you would equate to 36 episodes. That being the same total amount of the Orange Island saga, as well as Team Plasma for episode N, as well as the Decalore adventures in the archipelago to the Kanto region. So think of this as 30 episodes. 3, 2 times 15, and then the other 3. Greetings trainers, KuroBlitz here, welcome back to another video. What if Pokemon Journeys had a 4th season? Stay tuned and have a great watch. Both Ash and Go reunite with each other in the region of Galar by being tasked to help a former friend of Professor Cerise, that being of Professor Willow. Professor Willow, knowing they are also both research fellows and powerful Pokemon battlers who are not intrinsically tied to Galar or its region, or well as the Gym Challenge, they feel like the best for this job. Candela, one of Willow's assistants, she does say that there are a lot of Pokemon Dynamaxing and Rampaging all over the region, and they want to make sure this is not meddling from the likes of Oleana and Rose from the former Macrocosmos company. And they want to make sure everything is fine, as they call Leon the now Tower Tycoon of the former Rose Tower in Winden City, to make sure that everything is fine, and according to Leon it is. It feels like Rose and Oleana are not around, but they are not really causing any ruckus whatsoever. This does preoccupy Professor Willow a bit, because 2 of his former students, those being of Spark and Blanche, they have been missing for the time being, and they also seem to have got injured with this Dynamax Pokemon from a while. And they want to make sure that everything is fine. And with this, Lucario shows up. He wants to make sure that Rose is arrested and all of the Pokemon from Galar are also safe. This inspires both Ash and Go to basically get the task done to both Leon as well as Professor Willow. This does encourage the young professor as well as his assistant, and they even offer Go a task. They do know of Professor Amaranth as well as Project Mew. They want to tell Go that if he's able to, defeat a lot of Dynamax Pokemon in raids, showing not only his power, skill, but also a testament of teamwork, that maybe Go will be able to get some medals from his efforts, from ranging the ranks of bronze to silver to then gold. And he maybe be able to, get recruited as one of his research fellows too, to which intrigues Go for the time being, but now the safety of Pokemon, it's what's really important, and to learn about Dynamax there is none other place to go than to the Magnolia Laboratory in Wedgehurst, and that's where our heroes are now heading, as they do re-meet Professor Magnolia as well as the now Professor Sonia. It seems like even Chloe is here, as she wants to research on her Eevee because she's now able to have the Gigantamax factor. Everyone is here, as well as a powerful prodigy in terms of the Dynamax field by the name of Gloria. Gloria is testing the Gigantamax capabilities of her Snorlax, who she caught while in the wild area, as both Go and Ash remember that this Snorlax was the one that they encountered, and this makes Cinderace remember all of the good times. However, the good times are cut short because a wild Gigantamax Corviknight, it comes to the fray, and it comes to our heroes to stop them and defend the Magnolia Laboratories. Ash, Go, Chloe and Gloria are able to defeat this Corviknight, and this is where we realize that Rose and Oleana are not the ones in charge of all of this rampaging Pokemon, but yes, 2 royals, quote-unquote, by the name of Sword and Shieldbird. They declare themselves as heirs of the Galar throne, and they will make sure that everything from this region is burned to the ground if they are not given the crowns that they rightfully deserve. However, Go is extremely infuriated by this, and so is Grookey, and they want to make sure that everyone in Galar is safe. Glory and Chloe help Professor Magnolia while Sonia is allowed to do her research, and Ash and Go are going all over the region of Galar to make sure that these two weird twins are not doing any harm into people's way. Continuing on, they go to the center of a region where the once power plant of Chairman Rose was, in Hammerlock. Here they do see a powerful orbital, Gigantamax, and in shiny color no less. This is where our heroes are able to see that everything is not as it seemed, because this one it's not controlled by Sword or Shieldbird, but yes by 3 operatives of Team Rocket, by the names of Sierra, Cliff and Arlo. These 3 are battling Ash, Go and Chloe on a great deal. However, our lovable grunts in Jesse and James are able to show up and defeat these ones for good, telling Chloe to help Magnolia in the laboratory where they are able to deal with these ones, as Go is able to catch the Gigantamax Orbital for himself, a powerful and smart Pokemon for a powerful and smart trainer. As the crisis continues, Ash and Go decide to head west to the city of Turffield, where they meet Gym Leader Milo as well as the former chaser by the name of Quillen. These 4 powerful trainers are able to raid a Dynamax Hydrapple, one of the branch evolutions of the famous Pokemon Applin, and this is where they are able to give their all. Ash, Milo and Quillen are going on the offensive to this grass-type Pokemon with their 3 flying Pokemon of Dragonite, Jumpluff and Honchkrow. However, Go wants to fight fire with fire, sending out his newest Pokemon in Thwackey. Yes, Grookey, after seeing the despair and desperation from all of the trainers in Galar, decided to evolve in order to protect his home region, and they are able to defeat Hydrapple, and then they continue to the east of the region, going to the city of Hulbury to help not only Gym Leader Nessa, as well as the other chaser and water-type expert by the name of Danica. In there they see a powerful Gigantamax Kingler. Ash, having a Pokemon of this species, he is able to basically know the weak points even of a colossal size. Ash sends out his powerful bug Pokemon in Livani, and Go does the same by sending out his Beedrill, while supportive back are going to be given by Nessa with her Dreadnought, as well as Danica with her Jellicent. This Kingler is easily defeated, however they decide to go to the wild as it's best for everyone in Hulbury to not have someone as powerful during their cities. However, like how Milo caught Hydrapple, this is where Nessa also catches Kingler, and they are making sure the gym leaders are the ones to calm and acquiesce the situation, while Ash and Go are doing the heavy lifting in the front lines. They do return to the center of Galar yet again by going to the city of Motostoke. Here, Ash and Go are reunited with Raihan, and they finally meet the gym leader of Motostoke by the name of Kabu, who is now dealing with the powerful Dynamax Torkoal, and they are able to, do a lot of damage to this Pokemon with all of their Pokemon too, with Raihan providing rain as well as the mastery of the weather with his Gudra, and Kabu battling all fired up with his own Centiskorch. This is where Ash has a plan. He wants to Mega Evolve one of his Pokemon, that being of Pidgeot, to basically spread all the debris and the heat waves and the clouds of Torkoal to harm's way to not affect the civilians, while Go is doing massive damage with his own Aerodactyl. Torkoal is calmed down and caught by Raihan, no less. However, Sword and Shieldbird show up, mocking the two young boys, as they are making sure their plans are still fruitful despite of the young boys' efforts. However, they decide to train to become stronger, and this is where Raihan and Kabu suggest the Isle of Armor, as they train under the tutelage of Master Mustard, the one who taught Leon during his early days. And so they do. Ash and Go to the Isle of Armor, and they are greeted by the powerful trainers of Avery and Clara, rivaling the young boys. However, this is where we see the armor of the island by the name of Kubfu, being acquiesced and forming a great bond with Go, probably because he has once a great bond with two Urshifu trainers as well. Mustard allows Go for help Kubfu, but this is very fallen short. How we do see a Galarian Moltres attack the dojo, and this is where Go and Ash are going all out, and Avery decides to help Go with his Galarian Slowking, and Clara does the same for Ash with her Galarian Slowpoke. All of these Pokemon are able to do massive damage to Moltres, however Moltres decides to fly around the island and then away to the Crown Tundra, but not before Ash and Go decide to chase this Pokemon too, and so does Mustard. Ash, Go and Mustard arrive to the Crown Tundra, more specifically to the Dynatree Hill, and Moltres is nowhere to be seen anymore. However, they do see one powerful trainer and a former champion of Galar, just like Mustard, doing their best to fight a Dynamax Terrakion in Bellemare Lake, that being Peony, the former gym leader of Motostoke, and he's doing it all with his shiny Copperajah, and Go decides to help out this one with a steel type of his own, that being the powerful Pokemon in Berserker, a new addition to his team while his time in Galar here. Ash decides to defeat Fighting with Fighting and sends out his Surfetch, while Mustard sends out his Minshao. These Pokemon are doing their best to defeat Terrakion, and this Pokemon is quelled. However, given how trainers need to return to the mainland of Galar, they decide to hop on a Corviknight taxi and making sure to arrive to the city of Stowonside, where Mustard was once a gym leader and rivaled with Valerie from time to time. It seems like the situation there is becoming an extremely dire for a timeout. Arriving to the city of Stowonside, it seems like the mural is still destroyed from the likes of Ghost Reboot, but it's now in reconstruction yet again. But this doesn't calm the fact that there is a giant Annihilape trying to destroy the city, and both Bee and her Graplocked as well as Alistair and his Poltegeist are no match. It seems like both of their Pokemon were already defeated, even Machamp of all things. And this is where Ash decides to help Bee by sending out his Incineroar, a heal Pokemon with a great fighting spirit, and Go decides to protect Alistair and send out his shield-like Pokemon in the Coral of Cursula. These two powerful Pokemon are able to do massive hits to Annihilape, undynamaxing the creature in a raid battle. And this is where we do meet both Sword and Shieldbird, who are very afraid and tired of this kid's meddling, as they decide to dissipate without leaving a trace, but they want to check out if the mural is everything okay, and it is, under the supervision of none other than Sonia and Magnolia themselves. After that, Ash decides to go to Banulea, where he hears a rumbling after being in a wild in the Glimwood Tangle, and his hunch was right, as Opal is in trouble. Opal and her Galarian Rapidash are able to do a lot of damage to a rampaging Dynamax Weezing, in the Galarian form nonetheless. Ash decides to help to defeat this Pokemon by using his own Pokemon, that being of Lucario. Lucario being Steel, it's going to make massive damage to Fairy and it's not going to be hit by poison moves. But this is where Go also wants to help with his own Fairy Pokemon, that being of Alcremie, but this is where they also meet Bee, the new prodigy of Opal, and once the sponsored kid of Rose from Macrocosmos, and he uses powerful Sylveon and they are able to defeat Weezing. After Weezing is defeated, Opal and Bee explain their former story with Charmer Rose and how all of this is now come into play, and it seems like they are now making truces for the time being. After going to the west, Ash and Go decide to go to the east of Galar yet again, as they do see a massive rumbling in the bathhouse of Sir Chester. This is where Ash meets Gordy and Go meets Melanie. These two trainers, using their fossils in tandem with Melanie's Ice Cube and Gordy's Stonejourner, they are able to defeat a powerful Dynamax version of a Hisuian Avalugg. The big chunk of ice is nothing to be dealt with, causing blizzards all over the town. However, Ash and the others are able to defeat this Pokemon, and they decide to go to south to see if everything is okay in the city of Spikemuth, and it seems like it's not. The city might have not had a power spot in the past, but sadly it does one now. All because of the meddling of Sword and Shieldbird, with the macrocosmos research that they stole from both Rose and Oleana in the past. It seems like a Gigantamax toxicity it's now causing havoc in the hallways of Spikemuth, and this is where Ash and Marnie decide to do their best with Gengar and Grimmsnarl, while Go helps Pierce by using the sounds of Flygon with the obstructs of Obstagoon. It seems like the powerful toxicity it's now quelled with, but it's not the only draconic feature that these Pokemon and trainers will have to face, as Hammerlock is being under attack yet again. And this is where Ash and Go reunite with Leon, and they do re-meet his brother Hop too. Hop now has a double, more powerful than ever, and this is where they want to battle a giant Archaludon. It seems like one of many Duraludons that Raihan's was training evolved thanks to the metal alloy and was able to Dynamax as well. This is very difficult and very powerful. However, Ash decides to show Leon what he's made of by showing his own Charizard, as Leon wants to make sure that everything is okay, and he sends out a powerful Seismitoad. It seems like both trainers have been learning from one another, while Go, the superstar of this raid, is able to use Rillaboom. Go's Grookey had now finally fully evolved, with Kubfu now being his new Shouldermon. Rillaboom climbs to the top of the tower that is Archaludon, and it's able to land massive hits, undynamaxing the creature and making sure to go to the tops of the city yet again, because something very bad and very dire is happening while in the power plant. As they do arrive there, it seems like Sword and Shieldbird are doing an experience to one of Ash's former Pokemon, that being his Butterfree, rampaging the Pokemon by Gigantamaxing him too, and Ash has at it. But after that, we do see Chloe and Gloria showing up with their Yamper and Bolt Hunt, and they want to make sure to, defeat Butterfree and make sure that Ash recaptures him and everything will be okay. And Ash does it with his Pikachu and Go's Raichu. They are able to quell Butterfree from her fury and recapture them yet again, as Ash is now reconnected to one of his former Pokemon. Sword and Shieldbird are terrified. It seems like their plans of global domination, as well as trying to mess with the trainer's psyche, it has not prevailed in the slightest. And they dip, making sure they are going to steal the treasure that Go and Ash most love in this region. They have no idea as to what, until two former of his friends show up by the name of Gary and Horace. They do come here by the teleportation of a Pokemon from the Crown Tundra, that being the King of Bountiful Harvests, the rightful ruler of this region, that being of Calyrex. Calyrex does tell the young boys that he will allow passage to where they really need to be if they prove their worth in battle by taming their own legendary Pokemon. And so they do it, with Gary and Go using their Regis from that set Tundra, while Horace uses the powerful grass type of Virizion to make sure that he steals his resolve with the powerful grass type of Calyrex. Ash only has Melmetal, but this Pokemon is able to Gigantamax and prove Calyrex's worth, as Calyrex teleports the young man to Slumbering Weald to deal with the final boss that he can't, because Psychic cannot deal damage to Dark. He cannot fight this Shadow, that being of a giant Dynamax Zarude. Ash and Go are able to battle with Gary and Horace. Gary and Horace are given the steeds of Calyrex for this fight, that being of Spectrier and Glastrier, respectively, while Ash sends out his wolf of Zacian, while Go on his own, that being of Zamazenta. Two wolves and two horses battling a powerful Simian. This is where Zarude is defeated, but the plan to defeat Ash and Go is still not yet over, as Sword and Shieldbird show up and they realize that if they fluked them here, they would have the final plan to get the wolves and to be called the rightful kings. However, Calyrex teleports them away, making sure they will never visit the region of Galar ever again. And this is how Ash and Go not only reunite with their wolves, but also Gary and Horus get reacquainted with the King of Bountiful Harvest and being temporarily borrowed their steeds. Everyone is a winner here, from Ash to Go to Glow to Chloe, Team Rocket, and everyone else alike. After that, Ash and Go re-arrive to the city of Postwick and they reaffirm their findings to both Candela as well as Professor Willow, and after that it seems like their other students of Blanche and Spark are all fine and good, and they even want to test Ash and Go in battle by sending out the brain and the brawn of the operation. The brain being Spark's Galarian Zapdos, the brawn, and the brain being, the Galarian Articuno of Blanche. Those being the trainers of Team Instinct and Team Mystic, with Valor being the one ruled by Candela. And this is where Go and Ash decide to train with their starters too, of Pikachu and Cinderace. Pikachu is able to outsmart the movements and the psychic power of Articuno, while Cinderace is able to outkick the powerful Zapdos. With this, we do see a glimpse of Mew, and Go does realize that his resolve is not lost in vain, and this adventure in Galar to save the people and connect with Pokemon has made him a very strong trainer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I would have liked if Pokemon Journeys had a 4th season, or at least a Galar focused season. I feel like 36 episodes is very great, not only for Go and for Ash and for every other character. I feel like this could have been massively and wonderfully done. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure to leave a comment, like, share and subscribe, and I will see you another time, trainers.